Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back as well to the Northumberland coast. We are still here for another video. Now, in today's video, we're actually just doing a bit of coastal hopping, I suppose is want of a better phrase. Now, we've literally driven up to Sea Houses, we've sat and we've had a chippy, and then I whipped the camera out and went and done a little bit of sort of exploring at Northumberland Bay, the area just next to the port where it's basically a lot of rocks and stuff. Where we sat and actually had our chippy, we were sat there on the bay and sat looking out over to the Farne Islands. It was absolutely beautiful. What a view to sit and have some lunch. And we've just now made our way down to, I want to say it's Anstead Dunes. So just a very short drive, 5 minutes down the coast from where we were. Now the tide is on its way in and I'm not sure how much we're actually going to see on the beach here. And what we're probably going to do is we've got, get my watch out, less than an hour till high tide, and then we're probably just going to hop on to somewhere either straight after this or a little bit later on. Now, we are blessed with some very blue skies today, as you might be able to see from behind me, but it does mean we are at risk of very harsh light. So yeah, I'll stick up the pictures from Sea Houses, Northumberland, whatever you want to call it, and then yeah, we're literally just about to make our way onto the beach. So stick with us, enjoy these ones, and let's see what else we can see. Okay, so we've probably driven about halfway down Anstead Dunes and found an area to park at the side of the road. And we have just walked all the way along the beach. Now, as I say, the tide is on its way in. So there's a lot of rocky areas here, and I think it'd be really good for wildlife photography when the tide is out just a little bit more. Now, I did get at least one shot while I was down there, so not totally a waste of time. Not that it ever is a waste of time. Walking on a beach like this, being in Northumberland, is absolutely incredible. But what we're actually done now is we've come off the beach and we've come up to the path that actually walks you through the dunes bit. I'm guessing that's part of Anstead Dunes. So yeah, and it seems like there's quite a lot of small birds up here. So Mrs. S has just stopped I'm just having a slow walk down there, so stick with us. Let's see if I can actually get a shot of these. Just flown down. There he is. Okay, so this is one of the reasons that Mrs. S is absolutely fantastic. She's a brilliant spotter for birds. She's not really massively interested in the whole wildlife photography thing. She likes wildlife, she likes animals, very much an animal orientated person, but not so massive on the wildlife photography. However, she has this knack of spotting anything that's about. So we just got some cracking shots of those birds then. And we are just making our way back to the car. So I think that's us. I think we're going to pop back to the lodge and we're going to head out later on as well for one more little section of our beach hop, and that's a return to Druridge Bay. Yes, we're back again. I know, but Mrs. S and I love it here, and as I said before, it's 15 minutes away from the accommodation, so it makes sense to come down for the last light of the day and just enjoy a walk down here. Now, there is a slight ulterior motive, and if you'd watched the last video that we did when we were down here, you'll probably remember that I mentioned on a previous night when I did bring my camera, we'd seen snow buntings down here. Now, we've just got onto the beach and we've not seen any yet at all, but we are hopeful that we will actually find some this time, because we've come to the area where we definitely saw them last time, as opposed to going to the north of Druridge Bay near Hawksley Nature Reserve. So fingers crossed we have a bit more luck this evening, and that will be completing our third beach of the day. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let's see what we can see. Got it. Got the picture of the snow bunting. Well, I think it is anyway. That's what Merlin tells me it is. What an adorable little bird though. And again, you've got to give credit to Mrs. S. She was the one who spotted it. We were walking along and we were looking in the dunes along all the rocks and stuff that are along the edge there. And she literally just swung her arm back, slapped me to stop me moving further forward. And yeah, just to point out that the snow bunting was there. The downside is obviously because the beach is shaded from the light, it is ramping the ISO right up, but I don't care, because what a little dude, just proper posing and stuff as well. So we should have some really good pictures of that. We spent a good little while with him as he was hopping in the rocks and in the sand dunes, and it gave me some fantastic opportunities. Now I'm hoping that they have come out okay, on the basis that, as I say, with the ISO being as high up as it is, as you can tell how dark it is. The sun is over in that angle. No, that was terrible English. The sun is over there on that angle, and I'm facing this way. You can see how dark it is. I was shooting in that direction towards him. For the second set of shots, I managed to loop round him while he was in the sand dunes and actually shoot back in that direction. It didn't make any difference regardless of where I was facing, because we are just so limited with the light. I'd love to get some pictures of some birds in the water's edge with the reflections and stuff, because you're getting some gorgeous colours that are reflecting out the sky. You can see the huey colours in the yellow hue and the pink hue that it is casting in the sky, even though it's perfectly clear. And that is reflecting in the sands, as you may be able to see. So I'm really hopeful that we can get just a couple of birds in the shoreline, but we haven't got long before sunset. We've literally got about another 20 odd minutes. So yeah, stick with us. I'll stick up all the snow bunting stuff. What a day, what an absolutely fantastic day. I'm buzzing. It's just been fantastic for photography. So yeah, let's go see what we can see. Okay, so we're calling it an evening now. Light is getting really low, but what a fantastic day out with the camera. So obviously, first of all, sea houses, and I think it's Northumberland Bay, Northumberland Beach, whatever. With the rocks there was absolutely fantastic. Then down to Anstead Dunes, where we had just that real short walk on the beach, and then back up through the dunes, and then finish off the day at Druridge Bay and get that snow bunting shot that I was after, and also a few other shots as well, and hopefully managed to get some with that reflective view, for want of a better phrase, where they're actually in the water's edge and stuff as well, which looks, on the back of the camera, looks fantastic. And I'm really hopeful that they've come out really nice, and yeah, just to complete the evening. So there's not really much else for me to say. I know this is probably a really image heavy video, and it's also a bit random with our beach hopping as well, but you know what, that's photography for you. Sometimes you just have to make the most of the opportunities that you're given. And you know what, if we'd have stayed at Northumberland, sea houses, probably wouldn't have got much else, to be honest with you. Tide was obviously on its way in, so it was like, right, let's move on. And then we went down to Anstead, which was only 5 minutes down the road, but it just meant we had a bit more time with the tide. And then back to the lodge, fed Layla, come back out again for a third one, now that the tide is on its way out. So the joys of coastal photography, you've kind of got to play it with A, the weather, and B, the tide times. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think we had this issue last year when we came up to Northumberland, but this year we've kind of not been fighting the tide times, as it were. But you know what, if it was high tide at 4:30 today, that would have given us an extra hour and stuff. So yeah, on the way back to the car now, and I really do think we've made the most of our evening. So obviously, if you like the video, then give us the old thumbs up, and if you don't already, do drop some subscribe from down the bottom, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with our weekly videos where we trek out for varying bimbles as often as possible. So yeah, all that's left for me to say then is this is Mike out. Take care and be safe, everyone. Peace.